Okay, so I have been wanting to attempt vlogging again. Now, my channel originally started out as me attempting to vlog. I think everyone has that dream to want to vlog like someone like Peter McKinnon, Casey Neistat, and those type of guys. But yeah, it didn't really work out for me because I don't know. I just kind of got bored, and the hardest part about vlogging is the fact that you have to come out with an idea every single day, or just coming up with an idea, period, which was hard for me. Okay, so today I want to get this sound bag out and operational. Believe it or not, I've actually never used it. Like, okay, I've played with it, but I haven't used it. So like, that's my plan for today. Is well, it's raining also, and it's gonna be in a house, so I want to get the sound bag out and just play around with it and see what it's like using my different XLRs with that. Now, typically, what I would do is I use the Rodecaster Pro 2 because the preamps are really good. So I use the Rodecaster Pro 2 like when I am using my 416 or the MKH 50. That's typically what I'm using. So this thing has sat here and really hasn't been used yet. Okay, so this is my maiden voyage of my sound bag here. So, like, I've legitimately never used it on camera. I've goofed off with it. I've learned a few little buttons on it. Like, I freshly just updated it to the new firmware on the Mix Pre 3.2. So everything's up to date. But yeah, so maiden voyage. Now, if you didn't notice, I'm using the 416. Simply just to give you a reference of what this thing sounds like indoors, and why people probably would tell you to kind of shy away from this microphone in untreated rooms. Now listen, we all know it's great. It's a great sounding microphone, but the ideal situation for this microphone is outdoors. I'm sorry. The ideal situation for this microphone is outdoors. Why? Because of the interference tube. What makes shotgun microphones so great outdoors is, well, kind of a crux indoors. Now, okay, a little bit about shotgun microphones, especially like 416 and any shotgun microphone, like even for instance, the ones you would put on top of your camera. They kind of serve the same purpose, and the technology is somewhat similar. So there is an interference tube. It's probably about that long, and on that interference tube there are slits on it, right? Now, the purpose of those slits is to dampen the ambient noise. So basically how it works is, and this is not scientific, by the way. I'm going to give you like a short version, not super scientific version. So, okay, the tube has two purposes. It allows for your voice to have a direct line to the capsule there, or the source of what's gathering the audio. And it also has slits on the side. So the tube has a direct line when you're facing the actual microphone. When you're facing the microphone, your voice has a direct line to that capsule. All right. But on the sides, there are slits that actually dampen the sound, interfere with the sound. Why? Because it forces the sound to take different pathways, which dampens that sound, and it interferes with each other because there's slits on both sides. So you have ambient noise coming from both sides. It's taking different pathways and it's interfering with each other, which in turn lowers the ambient noise on the surrounding sides, which makes your voice pop out. Okay, that's how it works in simple terms. So, but that doesn't really work indoors because why? You have one source of audio. That's the problem. So you have my voice reflecting all around the room, going back into this microphone at different times. So it will not be the same from left to right. My voice will hit this microphone all at different times. You will get the direct line of audio, but then boom, you will have all the audio coming from the back, sides, and all around because this is a super reflective room. So it's not ideal. You do not get a true natural sound from this microphone. It may sound like, if you're not really paying attention, it may sound like, oh, it doesn't sound that bad. Yeah, this is not ideal, okay? It is not ideal to have this type of sound. But anyways, that's where microphones like this small diaphragm, or I don't think this is technically called a pencil condenser. It's not small enough, but this is a small diaphragm microphone. There is no interference tube. Well, there kind of sort of is, and it's super, super small, but it's not as long as something like the 416. So this would be ideal. Now, let's switch over to the MKH 50 and see what it sounds like. And here's the deal, and here's what I want you to prepare yourself and understand. There is not one microphone that will be able to get rid of the reflection in this room. It's just not going to happen. It doesn't matter if you have a lavalier. The only thing that I think would come close to sounding really, really good is something like a Shure SM7B that's a dynamic microphone. It's very, very, it's not sensitive at all, but that's not ideal. Like if you're trying to say, shoot an indoor scene, right? Something like this would be better. Something like a pencil condenser microphone would be significantly better. These will not get rid of reflections in the room or the reverb, okay? It just lessens it, okay? That's the thing. That's what I want you to understand. This lessens it. This kind of not really enhances it, but it just makes it worse, okay? Okay? It just makes it worse. This lessens it. 416 kind of just makes it worse. Okay, so it's been like a couple of days, so probably a couple of weeks. But anyways, so this is the MKH 50. This is what it's going to sound like in a heavily echoey room, like absolutely no treatment. I really just want to show you. This will sound a little bit more natural, but it's not going to get rid of the echo. It's not going to get rid of all of the reverb. It'll just sound a little bit more natural than the MKH 416. So yeah, there you have it. This is the MKH 50. It's going to sound a little bit more natural. Now, and here's the thing too. I want to let you just understand one thing. It really doesn't matter what microphone you use in this area, unless you're going to use something like a dynamic microphone that's right up on your face. And even then, you're still going to get a little reflections from the room into that microphone. Basically, what I'm trying to get across is it really doesn't matter what microphone you're using. You really do need to treat your room, or if you're not going to treat the room, if you're in a space temporarily, right? You would need sound blankets or moving blankets. You would put that around your microphone, not like literally around it, but you would put it on the floor and you would put it out of the frame, so that way you can kind of dampen some of the reflections of the room. That's what you would typically do, and that's where this microphone, the MKH 50, would shine. You would put some sound blankets on the ground. You would potentially put some on the sides that are out of frame to kind of dampen some of that reverb coming back into the microphone. But yeah, same deal. It would happen with a lavalier microphone. It's the same deal. And those typically are omnidirectional, which makes it a little bit worse because it captures sound from all around the capsule of the microphone of your lavalier. Okay, so that's it. One last thing. I did buy the Deity Theos. It is in my office. Give me a second. Okay, so yeah, Deity Theos right here. I'm not even sure if I want to do a review on this product, simply because it was something that I was super excited to have and buy. But once I got it, I was a little disappointed in the self noise. But it doesn't appear to have much of any self noise when you're recording internally, which, that would work if you could record and transmit at the same time. But as of right now, you can't. So I don't even know if I can justify keeping this, just for the simple fact that the self noise is ridiculous. Like, in my opinion, the self noise of something like the Rode Wireless Pros and the DJI Mic 2s, the self noise of those are so much better than this. Okay, but anyways, I think I'm done with audio. I'm moving on to something else that's not audio related. Okay, I'll check you guys in the next video.